So the summer of 2017, there was this conversation that Cody, my son Cody, and I had when we were in the car together. I had been pastoring in several different churches prior to that summer, but that summer I was asked by Cody, "What are you going to do, Dad? Like, what's your next thing?" And I remember in the car telling him that, well, if I didn't start a church, I would always wonder what God might have done with that thought, that dream. We began to have serious conversations with those that kind of formed a core group, core launch group, if you will, with us. And we began to talk strategy, we began to talk vision, we began to talk about mission. What does this look like? What kind of church would we want to start? We knew that one of the things that we didn't need to do was add more activity to the schedules of already busy people. So we purposed that as we formed the church, as we created what we believed God was calling us to create, that it would be a place where we would add value to their lives. We would help them to make an impact in the community around them, be the kind of people that others would want to replicate their lives after. And that meant that they needed to be in the community with their friends and neighbors.
Right. We wanted to keep it simple.
Yes.
How can we kind of propel them into the communities that they are already a part of? So instead of trying to reinvent situations for them to be in and adding to, how could we make this the sort of thing that fits into the lives they're already living? And how can we activate them to just be Jesus in the community, in the organizations, in the work, in the sitting around the ball diamond,
right.
Whatever. Like, how can we just make that more the culture?
We're very diligent about saying yes to certain things and no to other things to make sure that we stay on track, that we stay on vision, that we continue to be the people in the community, that we know Jesus and we know our neighbors. And that is at the forefront of every decision we make. How does this impact the life and quality of life of our people in the church? We began to think about, well, where are we going to launch Restōr Church? Where would we want to be if we had an option? And we pretty much sent 2 emails to the board of directors of the Goshen Theater, and we had a place to meet. And it was a real gift.
I went back on Instagram and I found the picture, and it's the first time we did baptisms. To see individuals step into the waters right there on Main Street. Talk about, like, no better way of going public than being right on Main Street saying, hey, I'm committed to this thing with Jesus. I want to tell others about it. Honestly, that I think about it, still just brings back so many good, like, just exciting moments.
When we actually did the tour of the Goshen Theater, when we were getting ready to decide kind of where we were going to go. Looking back, I think hindsight is what's kind of makes it a favorite memory, because we walked through and looked at all the cracks, you know, and all the kind of scary. It was like, wow, are we really going to do this? And then, like, all of the good and all of the beauty that God was able to do within the walls, those walls that we had looked at, was it just makes it really special.
Goshen Theater got this grant money. We're able to do this huge renovation, which would have kind of had us in a hard place.
Yeah.
But, like, God already had, like, R5M in mind. And before we knew we were going to have to vacate the theater, this building came up for sale. And so we had already made plans to leave the theater before we actually would have needed to. So again, God's provision and his hand in that.
And then we launched here at the corner of 5th and Madison at what we call R5M, Restoring Fifth and Madison. It was kind of our mantra during those days. And we launched here in January of 2020.
Was it 8 weeks?
Yes.
That we were in here, and then we had to shut down because of the pandemic.
Right.
And so then that year of 2020 was this like up and down. Do we close? Do we open? Do we, lots and lots of back and forth, and lots of discussions and frustrations and all of that.
Our online experience was woefully inadequate, but it was what we were doing. Prior to the pandemic and then shifting to the pandemic, we realized that we needed to really up our game.
Right.
We really focused a lot on how do we keep engaging people and learn some new skills. It's an extremely difficult time. I mean, it was so, to make that shift was really difficult, but at the same time important and necessary.
Like you said, Gene, it was this huge shift in how we did it. We had a worship set in our living room one time.
Yeah,
Remember
that's right.
that? That was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
But just the different, and it was beautiful to see all the creativity
Yes.
that came out in our team. And like, okay, this is how it is. This is what we need to do. Let's get at it and do it.
The mission that grabbed us initially was just this idea of doing church around relationship, not just seeing like people as numbers or as a commodity, but valuing them as a human being was huge for us.
Being a part of Restōr has been really special for us. Coming in, we've built relationships like we've never had before in a church. I mean, it's almost like we have another family outside of our family.
We have met family here that aren't technically blood family, like friends that have become family that are sort of our ride or dies at this point. And it's been tremendous for us as a married couple to be able to have those ties.
How we founded the church is upon relationships, upon our relationship with Jesus, upon our relationships with others. And to know that's at the core and that's not going to change, to me, that's exciting, of who else gets to know about Jesus and who else I get to bring into my life, into this church, into our community. That's what I'm excited about.
I think a lot of the people that come every Sunday and that serve on our teams and serve in our community outreach are here because they want to be. I think a lot of people have come from different churches and now they're kind of honing in on exactly what it is that they're looking for in a home church, and I think they found it here at Restōr.
I feel like we're a place where if you do walk in, you're experiencing people, you're experiencing authenticity, His presence, and we know just from over the years the many lives that have been changed by that, and so it's something that we love to be part of.
You know, we started this on day one like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how we keep going.
Yeah,
It's,
for sure.
It's this, like, we have ideas, we're still experimenting, we're still trying new ways of getting people to connect and engage and deepen their walk with the Lord. And I think as we move forward, we just continue to do it like this.
Indeed. These 5 years have been some of our best and some of our most difficult. Major challenges came our way in the last 5 years that we've navigated together. This wasn't just Brenda and I with this brainchild of an idea, but it was all of us together.
So we're grateful for all of you who have come alongside us in this journey and this thing of building Restōr Church. And it's not just your finances, it's your serve, it's your host team, being on the host team, helping on worship, it's janitor work. There's so many elements, and we're just super grateful for what each and every one of you brings and what each and every one of you gives to the work that happens here.
Yeah, we often say there's no end to what we can do when we do it together. We can always do more together than we could ever do alone. And we're really, really grateful. Thank you.